Good evening. Welcome. Another episode of the Drive Marketing. And today, Corey and I have the pleasure to sit with Tyler Humphrey, Humphrey Ag Solutions. Is that correct?
Yep. We shorten it up sometimes, but that's what it is.
That's right. You bet. Tyler, good to have you on here tonight. It's so hard for me to call you Tyler when I just call you Humpy. I mean, I think industry-wide.
Everybody does.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're here tonight to visit with you about the third annual Maine Exchange embryo genetic semen. We've got some live lots. Just the Maine Exchange sale you started 3 years ago, and I tell you what, it's done nothing but just gain steam. Tell us a little bit about how this event started and.
Yep, we got a lot to get through tonight, so I'll keep it short. This is just the third year
out of these guys every year.
The Maine-Anjou deal is something that's been near and dear to my heart. I decided years ago I wanted to do something like this to showcase what the breed had. If anybody remembers, several years ago, we actually did one in Denver online. And I forget what we even called it offhand. And then we took a year or two off, and then we got this deal together here. And we actually did it in Louisville the first year. It went really, really well. We had 27 catalog lots, and I think we sold every one of them darn things. I mean, there wasn't any of them that somebody did not want. The next year, rolling into year two, the pandemic hit, and there was all this talk about the North American wasn't going to allow spectators to just come watch. So we had to do something somewhere that we could have a crowd come and be a part of it. So I made some phone calls and talked. I think I even maybe talked to you about it, Brett. And we decided to do it in Oklahoma, and it made sense with the Congress that was going to go on, and it exploded. We had about the same number of lots, doubled our gross from the year before, and it was a standing room only. There was probably a bigger crowd at this Maine sale last year than there is at my Donors on Ice sale that we've been having for 13 years now. So it just absolutely exploded.
You bet. I was there last year. It was standing room capacity, crowd, active bidding, just absolutely nuts. And I remember that one in Louisville there. Boy, just the number of just random Angus breeders. Just the crowd there was just nuts. And honestly, I've had several people say that sale in Louisville is kind of when that spark kind of came back to the Maine breed and when it really kind of took hold again.
I mean, it didn't take a smart man to figure out that Maine deal was on the upward trend, and it's still going upward. I always say everything in this cattle deal as far as popularity seems to be kind of cyclical. And it's the Maines are back up. I mean, I feel like we are, I'm a little younger than some of these guys, obviously, but I feel like we are back when they were talking about, the heydays of the Hartmans and the Rays and all them guys in the Maine deal. I feel like we're right back there with that excitement. And they are in demand in the show ring, in the breeding pen, everywhere, the bulls.
You bet. And I tell you what, we're going to dive into these cattle right here. You talk about excitement. This lot one, this Jägermeister bull, he's one win away from the Triple Crown.
He is. So very fortunate. We always try and find quality, not quantity, when it comes to these deals. And this year, they just happened to live really, really close to me. The Muir family have raised this bull and campaigned him. He won in Kansas City. He won in Louisville, and they are going to take him to Oklahoma City, and they are going to show him there. The dam of this bull, obviously he's a data bank, as you can see if you've looked at the catalog online. The dam of this bull was the reserve champion Maine Angus a couple years ago for Sophia Shobe. This thing's just complete, built awesome. And, one thing that I was telling everybody before we went on here, think back to the last bull. I think the last bull that won the Triple Crown, Daddy's Money. What's that thing done for the breed? How many pedigrees is he in? This could be the next one. And these Maine bulls are hard to find if you're not looking for them. I mean, you really got to dig in. A lot of the great ones have come out of the Denver Maine sale, but they're hard to find. And that's why that your epics and your high societies and your gronks are in such high demand, and they can hold that semen back and kind of only put it out certain times a year. Well, you could do that with this bull, or you could put him out on the open market. You can basically, write your ticket with this bull. The marketing's all but done on him. I just think this is a great opportunity for either an established person that wants to sell some semen or somebody that wants to get into it and go for a fun ride.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that bull is extremely high quality, and the family's done a great job of getting him campaigned. Hey, what about this lot B? I mean,
this is one that's pretty near and dear to my heart. When I was in high school, college, and then again after I left the Key Association in my adult life, I worked for the Jones family there in Harrod, Ohio, and they, of course, had the Lucky Lady cow that we always joke around and say is the reason they were able to build that nice sale barn they've got there in Harrod. Well, this is a daughter of Lucky Lady. So a few years ago, like 2014, we sold the dam of this heifer to the Sullivan family for $69,000 there at the High Standards female sale. She went on. She was reserved in Denver. They retired her. I talked to Josh Elder a couple years ago, and we actually offered her the 34B cow as a live lot in the Donors on Ice sale, which is one of my other genetic sales. And Brent Toll and the Jones family teamed up, and they brought her back. Well, as soon as they got her back, they sell one for $20,000 in the sale the first year. And then this year, let me back up. The one that brings 20 is a full sib to this live lot donor prospect that we're going to offer. But then this year, one of the sale highlights at Jones's was a $53,000 in-game out of 34B, which would be a maternal sib here to this one we're selling. So basically what I'm getting at here, this epic out of the 34B female, I've never seen this Lucky Lady pedigree not hit. And it doesn't matter what you bred her to, whether it was Trendsetter back in the day or Daddy's Money or any of the bulls. Corey's had a lot of experience with these Lucky Lady daughters too. And I know when he was at Bushy Park, he sold a lot of them pretty high as well. This is one that was in the show string, and they just decided they needed to make a cut somewhere. But I'm telling you, she is that quality, the pedigree. This is one that I've probably had 10 phone calls already just because guys know this pedigree and how it works with the Lucky Lady cow family.
You bet. Well, now, I mean, my philosophy on Lucky Lady was if there was embryos out of anything related to Lucky Lady, you just bought them. I mean, that's sure one of, no matter how you slice it, she's one of the four most dominant cows in the Maine breed for sure.
Yeah. So we're excited about those two live lots.
Right. Yeah. And those daughters they just continue that effort, producing just like Lucky Lady did. So, hey, as we complete these two live lots, and before we get into the embryos, there's a video that would sure like to play here. It's the executive vice president of the Maine-Anjou Association, Blake Nelson's got a few words that he'd like to add to this sale.
Well, hello everybody at the CCI.Live. Just wanted to reach out to you, talk about the Maine Exchange sale. This is something that Tyler, as you guys have probably talked about, started I think 3 years ago now, and it's been a great opportunity for not only Maine breeders to market their genetics, but also for people maybe getting into the business to tap into some of the absolute elite Maine cattle out there in the U.S. today. He has not let off. It seems like every year that the offerings get better and better. A lot of these producers that have put embryos in don't really sell embryos throughout the year. So this might be just the only opportunity you'll have to tap into that. And for you guys maybe out there looking at the breed and thinking about getting into it, you will not find a better opportunity to invest in these embryos. Whether it's $1,000 to $5,000, you get a live embryo, you're definitely going to be look like a smart investor. And it's that kind of genetics. So I'm proving cow families out of programs that have been in the business for over 20 years. So take full advantage. This year, Tyler has some live lots that are pretty special. Y'all are probably talking about them, but I know that bull has been campaigned very successful, and that's pretty neat. But this has been a great addition for the Maine-Anjou breed as far as getting our genetics out there and really getting people the opportunity to not only maybe buy into the Maine breed, but also some of you guys that have been in the Maine business to maybe update your herd and enhance some of the genetic base that you have. So it's a pretty neat opportunity, not only with the embryos, the semen lots as well. That's some hard to get a hold of semen. And this is really one of the rare opportunities where you'll have access to that. So he has done a tremendous job gathering up some of the absolute best that we have to offer. I wish him the best of luck. If we can help in any way, please let us know. And look forward to seeing you guys in Oklahoma City.
You bet. Blake Nelson, always good to hear from him. Great person to have out in front of the Maine breed. We're going to dive right in here now with these embryo lots. Tyler, lot 1 here, we're going to start off with a bang. The mother of the Gensini heifer, the high seller off Jeff Paulson's sale there that dang sure won a bunch this year.
She has, and we're glad to have these. I only know of one other time these embryos have been offered, and when I called Blind Badger up and said, hey, I need the best for this deal, this is what they gave me. So we're going to offer an A and a B lot. The A lots are going to be full sibs, sired by Mafia, which obviously that semen, I've seen it selling as high as $1,400 recently. But we're going to offer the full sibs to the Gensini heifer or a neat twist out of Icon, which those females have been very desirable as well. So that's one right there that Blind Badger brings their best, and it wouldn't be a Maine-Anjou sale without those guys. And it kind of segues into our next lot too.
Oh, absolutely. When you talk about that female from Gensini, here's your opportunity. The Mafia Queen herself selling a reverse sword IVF cycle.
So this was a pretty cool deal. I called Joe up. I'd never sold anything for Joe before and just asked him if he'd play a part. And this was the female I had in mind. And he said, you know, this is absolutely what we'll do. We'll offer our best up and let everybody that's ever asked about her. You can read through the catalog, which we encourage you to do, and you can see her accolades. She's been reserved at more shows than you can shake a stick at. And she was the grand champion prospect female last year at the Cattlemen's Congress. So this is a great opportunity to get in here and flush her how you see fit. And I'm sure if you visit with Joe, he might have some ideas as well. But this is one that we do sure think is a shining star of the sale for sure. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, this lot 3, Tyler, we're going to sell you eggs out of the mother to that live lot, that lot B. This past high seller on Jones's sale. What do we got here?
Yeah, so this is the dam of the donor prospect that we're selling. This is the 34B heifer that sold through the Jones sale for $69,000 to Sullivan, then was brought back by Toll and Jones. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to offer up Garth's, and you know Brent Toll loves data banks, so we had to throw some data banks in there too. But this is one of them deals. These eggs have only ever been offered one other time. The first year of the Maine Exchange, I think they brought like $2,000 an egg. Something you can't get every day, and backed by one of the best cow families that I think has ever been in the Maine breed personally.
Absolutely. And then here we move to the lot 4. And Corey, I probably ought to let you do some talking about this. I hate talking about my own stuff, but we're offering up 3 different packages out of Grady and Hudson Carter's Miss Congeniality donor.
Brett, I think you're the best person to talk about it. Don't be shy. I mean, you know what this thing's done. And once again, we knew we were going to have to sell like this. We had to get you guys
right
involved.
here that's pictured, that was a Garth. That was a natural calf out of that cow. And since that heifer had quite a bit of success that year, we flushed that cow to Garth. I think that mating makes bulls just as easy, and that's why they weren't sexed. Game On's been popular, a bull we raised, and made females out of that. And the High Society purebred Epic Son, you'll see him there at Cattle Congress this year, coming back as a 2-year-old. And I don't know, I think they're limitless myself, but hey, I'm just Grady and Hudson's dad.
No, we're proud to have them.
This lot 5, you got the good stuff out of Gerald Buck down there in Madill, Oklahoma. He consigned some out of that U2 872 cow that's just done his program a tremendous amount of good.
Mm-hmm.
anytime you call Gerald, you can count on him. I mean, that guy has been awesome trying to build this Maine sale. The U2 cow obviously off a bunch of steam from that sale this spring. She had a daughter sale for $54,000. Mother of the BK high heifer of Moors. Just one, whether you go with the Epics or the Forbes, you got a couple different deals there you can play on. Just a true cornerstone cow from the Buck program. And once again, Gerald brought the best. This wasn't the JV team.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we go to the lot 6, the She's So Sweet 104X. Embryos out of Daddy's Money or the recently deceased Endgame.
So this is one of those deals. We always try to have our main cows, our cornerstones, but then obviously the Maine breed's really, really versatile. And we like to bring them cows in that may not be Maine, but have a Maine sire on them. Well, what we've got here is one of Jones's cornerstone Simmental donors with these Maine bulls on top. But what is really, really cool about this, that Lot A package, sired by Daddy's Money, that is a full sib mating to the $205,000 high seller from their high standards female sale just a month or two ago. Never been offered before. Just made more of them for this sale specifically. So that's pretty exciting right there. You got some versatility. And then, of course, the Endgame's been pretty popular this last year. You know, he did pass away. There's not much semen on him. But the progeny we've seen, I was just talking about one that sold for $53,000. There was a handful of other ones. I mean, if you were going to try something, boy, I sure think that could work too. So 2 pretty popular options there on a non-conventional Maine cow.
Yep. This lot 7 coming next from the G-Bar, Griswold Cattle Company, and Maple Lane Farms, Irish whiskey cow, embryos by Endgame.
Yeah, this deal right here was just, they just sold half interest in this cow to Maple Lane in their classic just a couple weeks ago. And I'm telling you what, she went through the ring at $42,000 and had a couple daughters. One sold as lot 9 for $24,000. Just another deal. Anytime you can get on those whiskey cows from Griswold, you really ought to do it, because that's another deal. That guy don't offer a lot of embryos either unless they're through his sale. So we really appreciate John and Jakey and Jeannie and all those guys at G-Bar bringing that. I mean, that one's hot off the presses. I mean, it's fresh. Just happened.
Right. Hey, lot 8, you talk about some fresh stuff here, Humpy. We've got Miss Harmony 58C embryos. This is the mother 2 Endgame.
It is. Yep. This is a lot of people remember this heifer as one that the Schaub family campaigned all over. One Denver, one Louisville. Just a really, really good one. There was a set of sisters. She's got a sister you'll see later in this catalog. There was a set of sisters that sold that year at Jones's. One brings $69,000, and then this one brings $57,000. But what they've done already, I mean, just look right here. She had a $55,000 daughter and a $40,000 daughter in the sale this year, and this is either the first, maybe the second crop for her. I mean, she's just getting started. And once again, going back to the Garce and the data banks, I mean, proven stuff here, sires that we know work out of some of the best cows in the country. So this is a good opportunity to get in on one that's proven to raise them and has hung banners at all the national shows.
Hey, this lot 9 here, here's one that was awfully popular down there in Louisville. Our full sib was back out of the BPF Miss Me 528C cow that Green Oaks gave $68,000 for there a few years ago.
This is one right here that wasn't even on my radar. She won. I was trying to figure out where she come from. I called up Dylan Durham. He goes, yeah, I got embryos. So, I mean, asking you will receive kind of deal. But this is one right here, like you said, been extremely popular, had a lot of friends, and we are glad to have. These are conventional eggs out of her. A lot of these are sexed heifer eggs, but conventional eggs. But like we were just talking earlier, what's a bull worth in this Maine deal, especially backed by something like that? So these are full sibs to the Norvell heifer, and ones we're darn proud to have.
Yep, and next is this lot 10, the 158B donor owned by the Why Not crew, the Top Miller family. And I tell you what, this cow's been nothing but productive for that crew.
I've got a smile on my face right now because I've been waiting for this. If you go back to last year's catalog and you look at the C and CC choice live lots, there was a bred heifer that we sold choice of, and there was a calf that we sold choice of. They picked the bred heifer. They left the calf standing. This was that calf, the full sibs of these embryos. This heifer that was reserved in Louisville just a few months ago was the one that anybody had the option to buy for $9,500. So pay attention when we sell these things, because we sort them pretty hard. And that's the kind of quality we try to bring in our live lots. But these are full sibs. The data banks are full sibs to the heifer that was just reserved in Louisville for the Top Miller family. And then, of course, we got some unsexed done deals also. But yeah, I couldn't wait to bring that one up. I mean, how many cowboys wish they'd have pulled the trigger at 9,500 on that one?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Hey, this lot 11, Tyler, BBR brought the goods here, selling embryos out of Dominatrix, the mother of Memphis Mafia. Sure one of the most proven cows in the breed.
If I have to sit here and explain to anybody about this cow, she's one of the most popular cows there is out there. I do believe her embryos might have been our high seller last year. This cow doesn't miss. She's got a rap sheet a mile long, and you got the choice of end games, which once again, that semen's hard to come by, or the Yellowstones, which is the new bull that they're promoting with Dunk. So, I mean, right there, good stuff that does not miss and got a resume a mile long.
Hey, I'll tell you that they were for sure the high selling eggs last year. Doyle Leafers in Missouri buys them. We stuck him in here at 605. He's got 2 full sibs. The Gensini's heifer coming this year.
Nice. Very nice.
Awesome. Now we move to the lot 12, and I tell you what, you can't get much more high profile than the 5066 donor at the G bar. Some know her as 5066. Some of you will know her as the mother to Miss Boston. What we got here?
If you were at the Classic a couple weeks ago, you heard about the 5066 impression on the whole program and how it trickles down, and they talked about it over and over again. It's because this one's done it, and this one, once again, end games. No idea why they're selling these things. If I had them in my tank, they would not be for sale, but these guys said, hey, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So here we go. End games out of 5066. You could make your next Boston. Who knows? A little different bread, but it's there.
Right. Number
13 here, BK Ain't High, the past show heifer, shown by Moores there. Goes back to that, again, one of the main stakes in the main breed, that 872 buck cow. These are out of Brett's new bull, High Society.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Brett, that semen, it's not out there just for everybody to get, is it?
No, it's by package only. It is. We have kind of kept the lid on it for here just a little bit, and so he will be in Oklahoma City. So those curious about the High Society stuff, he will be there.
And that's another proven cow from the Moore boys there. Them guys have been great to work with. You know, you asked me leading into this, how do you get all this stuff? And I'll be flat honest with you. The relationships that I forged with these guys, you know, back when I worked at Jones's and was running around with you guys at shows and just being there, you can call in a favor. And I'll tell you, that's what a lot of these have been, is favors, because you can't just get these every day.
Right. Yeah, so let's go to the lot 14. The Who's Playing donor, a Huda Man, 6640.
So this is another one of them deals where I said we like to take Maine sires and try and find them real good cows that may not be Maine-Anjou. Well, this is one of Timmy Schaefer's shining star donors. I mean, this thing has done it again and again. Last year's champion key female at the North American, shown by the Geyer family, was out of this donor. This year, the Jones family has another one that was champion in Louisville. He said, hey, I got end games. I said, what else could you ask for? So we took those up in a heartbeat, and we think this could be a really, really big time deal. And like I said, back-to-back national champions doesn't just happen from any cow. So
Hey, this lot 15, I'm glad I got to open this one up. I remember this one when she was in Denver, when she was reserve. She was out of X59 and out of the Lucky Lady 2X, one of my favorite daughters of Lucky Lady, a Sooner Lucky Lady there. And these eggs are out of the Memphis Mafia sire.
So I'm pretty sure that, just going off memory, I have never sold Lucky Lady 2X embryos in a sale that Corey Thompson did not buy, whether it be for himself or for the firm he worked for.
Yep.
And I think one year in the Donors on Ice sale, you can bought a flush out of her for a hefty amount of money, because that, and you guys took them back, put them in, they worked. Well, this is a direct daughter of that 2X that Corey likes so much, made it to Memphis Mafia. These are conventionals, but hey, I'm okay with that too, because what would a Mafia sired bull out of that deal be worth? I mean, you're going to see when them bulls crack off at Cattlemen's Congress, you know, them ones are going to sell in the bright lights. Some of the best ones come out of there. I mean, you could have yourself a $20,000, $30,000 bull real easy, or, you know, the females are going to be pretty good too. But this is one of the, I think the only second time we've ever offered eggs out of this cow. The Van Voorhis family owns her with the Joneses, and just once again, back to that Lucky Lady bloodline, and nothing but predictability there.
Absolutely. And now we move to the lot 16, and just right up the road from the Jones family, the Weingartner family is part of this lot here, offering up embryos out of the Forever Lady Angus donor, sired by Duff Distinction.
So this is a pretty cool deal. You'll see right there in the catalog next to her, this is a maternal, these embryos will be maternal sibs to the $80,000 reserve champion at the Angus Junior Nationals for the Sullivan family. This is an In Control, which is a newer sire on the scene that Boyert's bought with Weingartners, or bought in with Weingartners. Been Grand Reserve at a show or two, one of the majors. And one's, you know, this heifer right here sold for $37,000 in their sale. This is one of those deals. We're on the front end of it, probably selling them too soon, but I promise you're going to hear a lot more about these In Control sired cattle. I promise you that.
We come to this lot 17. Tyler, how did you talk Cunningham's in out of, parting with some of these Sandy 1815 eggs?
So it's funny you say that. I just saw on Snapchat today, he tagged me in a snap that said, Tyler Humphrey's the only guy I know that can talk my wife out of eggs on her favorite cow. That program's storied when it comes to Angus cattle, and everybody thinks a 905, but I promise you there's a slew of these daughters that they are as high or higher on, and this is one of them. And really a cool deal. The only Sweet Willie embryos we've got in the sale, but they've seen that bull. They know what he can do, and they thought he would work great on this one. And I'm telling you right now, this one is probably one of my favorite ones in the whole sale. Once again, a little different, not a Maine cow, but stick that Maine influence on the top, and you got that donor power on the bottom. This is one of the Sandy daughters that's knocking it out of the park for them. And you know you got the right stuff when they don't want to let it go, and they gripe and gripe and gripe that you even got it from them. That's how you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hey, and now we roll into this lot 18. I mean, here we are deep into this, and we are still knocking it out of the park in terms of quality. We've got embryos out of the reigning champion maintainer female at Cattlemen's Congress, offered up by Brower Craft Show Cattle.
Same deal. I shot Jenna a message, and I'm like, hey, what do you got? And I said, I know you guys are kind of on fire right now in this Maine deal, and I'd sure like to get you guys involved. And she told me, she goes, well, we don't own that cow anymore, but we did retain a flush. How would you feel about offering some embryos? And I said, that would be awesome. And she told me they were going to do it to Fame. And she called me back a couple of days later. She said, hey, we got that cow flushed. She said, make it 2 packages. She flushed really, really well. So this is probably going to be the only time you're going to have the option at these embryos. Like we said, to the good Fame, I think this will be a really cool deal. You know, like I said, that whole Brower Craft deal is just really, really going up right now. And I can't think of a better lot to offer. And we thank SL and Jenna for that. So,
hey, another proven champion, lot 19. Here's the one last year the show heifer of the year in the Maine Angus program. She was reserved down there in the open show at Cattlemen's Congress last year, owned by the Fox family. Boy, here's an awful good one. Embryo sired by the new Yellowstone bull that Dunk and Blind Badger own.
Brian Fox is one of them guys that's a cow man. And when you tell him, you don't ask him, you don't tell him what you want. You say, Brian, what do you think will work? He goes, this is it. This is the deal. He goes, I'm not even going to give you a second option on Yellowstones. Yellowstone will work with this deal. This cow's awesome. So whenever Brian says that, we said, that's what we need. Once again, this is, to my knowledge, your first shot at some of these Yellowstone offspring. And I think a guy ought to go ahead and take it and get ahead of the curve, personally.
That's right. The lot 20 female we come to, the forerunner donor from Gerald Buck and his crew of extremely popular lot that sold in his cow sale this past spring. And he thought enough of her that he flushed her to Epic prior to that cow sale.
I'll tell you what, you'll notice a trend in this Maine deal. If there's a cow family and it's good, we've got her, we've got daughters, we've got all that in here. And this is another one, that U2 cow, you've seen her in here 2 or 3 times already in terms of her bloodline. And here's another deal. This is the one that brought $54,000 in that spring sale. And like you said, if we're going to mate them to Epic, you may as well just go ahead and call your shot, because that's the kind of stuff right there that Gerald hangs his hat on. This is going to be an awesome mating, and we're glad we got it.
Lot 21 comes to us from a neighbor of mine up here in South Dakota, the RJ and Plant program. This that's a full fib mating to heifer that RJ sold high this last time. That cow's an unlimited power, and she's out of the 2 over 75 cow of Ryman's and Doris's and that whole crew.
I'll tell you right now, called RJ up, said, hey, I'd sure love to have full sibs to that one that brings 34.5 in your pasture sale. And he says, I'll do you one better. And you can see here, we've got an A, B, and a C lot, Mafias, Fames, and All Me's, which is a bull of Willie Weiss's. That guys that know have been using that bull. If you don't know about him, you will. But right here, this is just pick and choose. What do you want? It's going to be proven deals here. And once again, glad to have RJ involved. Everything he kind of touches is real good. So we're glad to have him involved.
This lot 22, Tyler, the Rosa Maria cow, brought to us from Jason Minert there in Illinois.
Yeah, him and his buddy Caleb Size. Jason sold this heifer right here. She wins reserve in Denver, wins in Louisville over her career. They're just kind of getting her going into ET, and we thought we'd give you the choice of some end games or some Forbes out of her. You're seeing a lot of guys use this Forbes bull, this Angus bull from Silvera's and Sankey's, and we've got a lot of faith in this deal right here. And this is just one deal that they've only been offered a couple times. But when I asked Jason, I said, hey, I need something good for the Maine sale. These guys calve them. I mean, I see what wins, but they see all of them. And they've had some calves out of these deals. And I think this will be a nice little addition to the sale. First time we've had this cow in this sale.
This lot 23, Tyler, Sully always brings the goods. Who Dat Raptor eggs here?
Yes. So this cow, Sully used to own her. I believe they sold her to the Pembroke crew here recently. But this thing, whether it's full sibs to these eggs, excuse me, or maternal sibs, they've been cracking them off. If you look here, this cow's had a $48,000 one, a $25,000 one, a $13,000, a $14,000 one. And you go back to the proven maternal made, I really think you've got a good option. And one of the nice things about Sullivan's lots, they always sell them by the 4s. So pay attention. There's a few of these lots where we're going to be selling the embryos times 4 instead of 3, but just another great sexed female lot here out of the Who Dat Raptor. Like I said, let's not forget, she was a Supreme champion herself back in Louisville. So
yeah, pay the lot 24. It's another whiskey cow, and it's not just any whiskey cow, Humpy. It's the mother to maternal maid.
Yeah. So speaking of maternal maid, right here on the page, I didn't realize that. That's his dam. And once again, we're going to have end games out of maternal maid's dam. So you tell me, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, you put out on your ad in 2 years when you got these calves on the ground, hey, we got an end game out of Maternal Maid's mom. They're going to come running. And that's part of the fun of these embryo sales is you've got that built-in level of marketing. I mean, you got to have a good one, but guys want to be out of something good too. And this sets you up for success there. So I do believe that's the final entry there from the Griswold crew. But like I said, got their best stuff. So we're happy.
Hey, lot 25 here from the Hereford transplant, Matt Copeland. These are full sibs to his full tilt bull that Griswold bought into there. Been very popular by Dual Threat.
Hey, transplant is right. This guy is pumped to be involved with a Maine-Anjou event, and he has been raising some pretty good ones. If you look here, like you said, full sibs to this deal. He's never sold any, and that dual threat semen, come to find out, pretty hard to get. There ain't any of it left. Tried to get some for a guy the other day and couldn't get it. So we're pretty excited to have Matt and Alyssa in this deal. And once again, full sibs to a Griswold sire. You can't beat it.
Yeah. That dual threat and in control is going to be a hot deal here in the years to come.
You ain't kidding. That's true. Yep.
Hey, this lot 26 coming to you next. Another one here, Brett's crew there at Morton Cattle consigned out of the Faith donor and embryo sired by Epic.
Why don't you give us the rundown, Brett? What do you think of this one?
Hey, it's a maternal maid out of the Belly Dancer 4001. She was the first of that mating. That female was selected reserve champion maintainer and reserve supreme influence female at OYE a couple of years back. And I said it in the footnotes. I mean, it's anytime you can put Epic over a really high quality female, it's limitless on what those offspring can do. So it was a no-brainer for me how I was going to mate her right out of the gate.
Lot 27 coming to you next here, Tyler, from Simmons Cattle. Trey Simmons out there in Indiana. His CC donor, sired by I-80. Embryos
Icon.
by
well, yeah,
Icon
she's an I-80. You're right.
What's that? Yeah.
Never mind. I misheard you.
Yep. Cows out of I-80. Embryos are by Icon and Epic.
So Trey called me up and he's like, hey, man, I got something for you. I've had a whole litter of these calves out of the CC donor that have sold really, really good for me the last 2 years. He's like, I'd like to get her in there. And I got just the thing. Well, anytime you bring me something proven and the eggs are sired by Icon or Epic, we're going to take care of you. And we're glad to have him in here. I mean, call Trey, visit about this donor. He'll tell you what some of these things have brought, but they have topped his sales the last year, and he could not be more excited to have these on here. So give Trey a call, and he'll be glad to fill you in on that.
Hey, lot 28 coming from the Caffey Ranch in South Dakota. You talk about a place that does not sell embryos. As a matter of fact, they don't even flush cows. And to think that you've got a chance to get something out of a female like this and maternal maid, these guys have absolutely made maternal maid famous.
Yes.
They know how to use him.
So you hit the nail on the head when you said they don't flush cows, because she called me a year ago and was like, hey, I see what you're doing. I'd like to be a part of it, but I'm going to have to start flushing cows first. And I'm like, well, get on it because we got a spot for you. And if you've seen their cow sale the other night online, this stuff's in demand. What they're raising up there, this is what the guys want, because that cow sale was wild and they let go of some good stuff. And this would be all, directly related. But this is the DO2. This is a younger donor from Caffey Ranch and one that they're pretty pumped up on. Out of the Ooh La La it goes back to, which she said absolutely does not miss. But they've just getting her started, and she's had a couple, calves that have sold fairly well, but they've retained some of them heifers too. And this is one right here, like you said, if there's anybody in the world that makes maternal maid work, it's this firm, and that's exactly what they're bringing you on these embryos out of the DO2 donor, the new up-and-coming one.
Hey, Tyler, this lot 29, this Miss Harmony 56C, she's flat got her done, past high seller on Jones's sale. Boy, we got 4 different matings here.
So this is, earlier you heard me say there would be a full sister coming up to the Schaub heifer. This right here is the full sister to the Schaub heifer. This is the one that went through the ring at $69,000. Then they went ahead and they sold her through Garwood's dispersal a couple years ago. And that is exactly how that all these guys over here with Richland Farms, Full Circle, and Cody Lucy Show Cattle got her involved. They bought her together. She doesn't just raise show heifers. Goat had a Get You Some that his boy showed. They got along real good out of this cow. You'll see right here on the catalog, there was a $31,000 In God We Trust steer that the Geyer family showed too. This is a pretty versatile one. And this right here, go ahead and look. Epics, Garths, Sweet Willies. And the cool thing about the Zykes eggs, these would be full sibs in blood to end game. So right there, you've got some options with what we've got going on here. But this is another donor that's bred right, and we got the good matings on her.
Yeah. Hey, here we are 40 minutes into this thing, and I'm telling you, you just keep swinging at them. Embryos out of the Go Time donor, who's an epic out of the 005 cow, which goes back to the original 100 donor at Buck Cattle Company.
Yep. So this is the Go Time deal. We sold these last year. Great friends, the Ripions and Caligas from over there in Maryland, Pennsylvania. This right here was one we thought last year was a little too early, and we wasn't really sure if it was going to be the right time. Well, I promise you, the way they sold, it was the right time. And these embryos were in demand. So this year we stepped it up. We added some 24 carats. These guys just come off a really good bred heifer sale I did for them on show circuit. This is a program that's another one of them deals on the upward trend. They're using these Maine genetics to get there. So we're proud to have these guys involved too. You'll hear a lot more out of this cow and her offspring, I promise you.
Hey, lot 31, Tyler, a full sister to the $73,000 female that sold on Gerald's sale last fall. Donor sired by Blue Chip embryos, or not by Blue Chip, by the Blue Chip Sun Power Chip, and embryos are by Epic.
Right here, the Mulbin Pride deal, he got that from Conley. Once again, putting it right back to Epic. It's a good thing Gerald's got a stockpile of that stuff, because I'll tell you, it seems to be working for him. And if you're not interested in paying good money for that semen, this is a great way to get in on some ground floor level of good cows, awesome cows that are proven to that high dollar semen. So that's kind of the idea here. We're really glad that Gerald made them all that way, because it makes it kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, in my opinion.
Yep. The lot 32 coming from Copeland family in New Mexico again. A maternal maid out of a Carney man. This is going to give you a chance to acquire full sibs to War Wagon.
Yeah, War Wagon, and out of their recent online sale, they had a $20,500 heifer calf. Same deal, full sister. These were ones too. When Matt called me, he was adamant about getting 2 deals in it, and this is why, because this one's equally as good and bred a little different, but look at the cow in the picture. I mean, my goodness. For being a Hereford enthusiast, he's sure got some good Maine cows.
Absolutely.
This lot 3, Tyler, actually a cow that I raised there at Bushy Park and sold Terry Lockhart and the crew down there in Oklahoma out of an old heat seeker son named War Eagle. You're selling them 4 different ways here again: Epic, Mafia, Garth, and Primo.
Once again, going back to the Richland Farms and Terry Lockhart deal, these guys, hey, we want to be involved. We got a good cow. They let you tell you how you want to mate them. They'll get the good stuff. They're not afraid to spend the money on the good semen for these things. And right there, that picture that's in there, that is a Garth daughter that Charlie Wilson sold pretty high. And there's been a couple others. I mean, this Miley cow's just doing it for them. They're averaging 15,000 on her offspring. So we figured we better bring her back for year number 2.
Right. Lot 34, going right back to the Caffey Ranch. Dave Caffey there in South Dakota. And it's your choice of the S33 or the B33, which I think is that a mother-daughter combo there?
Yep, I believe it is. And the deal is here, do your homework and figure out what you want, because I don't know that we're going to roll both packages. They haven't let me know that yet. So when this one comes up, I would probably have my ducks in a row. But once again, S33 and B33, you go through and look at all their bull sales they've had the last couple of years, their female sales. And I believe they sold the S33 cow in their cow sale the other night. I didn't get any notes on what she brought, but this is the good stuff. This is the stuff that they put in, and exactly where you need to be on this one. And, you know, for being the first year, they didn't test the waters. They jumped all the way in and brought me the stuff out of the private tank. That's for sure.
Hey, this lot 35, Tyler, you're selling them out of the donor, the Chit Chat, the past junior national champion in Hutchinson, Kansas. There, embryo sired by Sexed Epic.
Yeah, so these embryos, Gerald tells me, would be full sibs to a $50,000 one that sold not too long ago. So I don't really know what else a guy needs. Something from the Buck program, and then I believe by way of Brett's program with that herd prefix there with the MTF. But once again, full sibs to a $50,000 one out of Epic. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but they just brought me the good stuff and they know what works.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, here we go with the lot 36. This one here coming again from that Richland crew out there with extremely high quality X2 daughter. Here with two different sets of embryos sired by Epic and Memphis Mafia.
So her claim to fame, other than raising some pretty good ones, this is Databank's sister, and that's part of the reason they bought her, to add her to their donor battery. But you can look right there, the top right-hand corner, there was a $40,000 Epic full sisters to the 36As. That heifer was marketed through Tim Schaefer's sale this year. So, you know, that's new compared to, we offered eggs out of her last year. She's kept working and the story's gotten better. So the full sister to Databank, and we're going to sell some sibs to a $40,000 one.
Lot 37, Sullivan's bringing the Huda Man in with the Jazzy Jalen donor, a Huda Man out of a Jalen daughter. These eggs are out of the very popular Triple Crown winning Maintainer sire MVP.
Yep, another one there. And, you know, Sullivan's are a firm that's put a lot of trust in that MVP deal, and they've had a lot of luck with it. He clicks with their cows, especially these Huda Mans. And there's been some other sibs and blood that have won out and sold high and won. And this is a deal right here. You know, another, I believe that heifer was also a Supreme champion in Louisville, if I remember correctly. But once again, sexed heifer MVPs times 4 times the money from the Sullivan crew. They always seem to bring us the good stuff with that Huda Man base with a little Maine-Anjou on top.
There you go. The lot 38 coming to you right here from Simmons Cattle Company. Trey Simmons out of the Goose donor.
So this is a new donor for Trey. She just got done showing this last year, and they got her into production. A really good unlimited power daughter that did some win at the Indiana State Fair, as you can see there. And honestly surprised we haven't seen more embryos offered out of Masterpiece, the Good Bull there at Griswold's, but these will be unsexed eggs out of Masterpiece and the Goose donor. Once again, Trey can fill you in on everything she's done, but she hung a banner at the Indiana State Fair. Not a lot of guys can say they've done that. So I remember that heifer shown by Dave Van Sickle and his stepson. That is a good creature, and we're glad to have these Masterpieces out of her.
Hey, and then the last embryo lot here, Tyler, lot 39, why not consignment. Databank goes back to the Jones donor. She's so sweet. Class on classes and in game for sale here.
Yep. So this would be the full sib to the one that was reserved in Louisville, and this would have been the other live lot, the one that got chose. They flushed her. Class on classes and in games. Class on classes sold calves upwards of 75,000 over at the Minute program. He works on this kind of female, and then again the in games. I've just really not seen too many of those I didn't like this year on hoof. So, I mean, once again, this might be one of them deals, a great investment opportunity. We're probably a year too early selling these, but I guess that's our fault, not yours, and you can get them bought right. So,
yeah, I got to tell you, Humpy, after going through 39 lots with you on this Maine Exchange, I got to tell you, you're a little bit like Jerry Jones in the early 1990s Dallas Cowboys. There is just not a hole in your roster here, buddy. It is high quality. You went and swung for the fence with the breeders. The breeders have got behind this thing. And I got to tell you, I was, as a lifetime Maine-Anjou guy, it was still a pleasure of mine to get to sit here and look and see what all you could gather up. And so here we go with the 3rd annual Maine Exchange to be held Saturday, January 8th This will follow Dr. Dave DeWello's Western Elite Sale that's held down at the National Livestock. 1 block away is where your sale will be held at, the Cattlemen Steakhouse Event Center down in the stockyards at OKC. So, Humpy, appreciate you taking the time to visit with Corey and I tonight. We appreciate you having faith in Drive Marketing, and cannot wait to see you there in Oklahoma City.
Hey, I just want to mention one more thing. Mafia, Epic, Gronk, and In-Game Semen will sell also. So check that out in the back of the catalog. That's some good stuff you can't get just anywhere. But we'll be glad to answer any questions, and we'll see you guys in Oklahoma City.
Absolutely. Hey, appreciate visiting with you.